Hi, welcome to this video on getting started with Live API Creator using the Quick Start. The first thing to do is click on the big green box for the Learning Center. Please don't just click around, that won't get you where you want to go. And run the Quick Start. That's off to the right. And the first thing we'll do is run a function that's just a code-based endpoint that says hello world. So if we create a function, it creates the default code for it. If you say test, it runs. You could run that in curl if you like. A little more interesting, let's now connect to a database. That's the first step here. So we go back up to the APIs page. We click Create New API. Database first, this is the most common path. At this point, you identify your database type, enter its credentials, and the system scans the schema to find all your tables, views, and sort procedures, creating an endpoint for each. Here we show customers, illustrating that it's a completely executable now API, complete with filtering, sorting, pagination, and optimistic locking. Here's an example of filtering. Again, you could run this in curl if you prefer. This is a little bit easier because it provides the authentication. That's the default API. Now we want to produce a custom API, and for that we define or create a resource. We pick our table, let's say products, or suppliers rather. Resources enable you to choose and alias your columns. To do that, you deselect, use the entire table. Deselect attributes to choose the attributes you want. Click off the attributes you do want. Alias them as you need. This is your data independence layer. Not unlike a view. What's different from a view is that they can be nested. So this is from the schema a related object. So you can see the tree on the left there. We can save and now test, and it's running. No compile, no deploy, no code gen. So at this point, you've got an application. If you're a front-end developer, you've got an API ready to begin development for a mobile front end, for example. Also created from the initial start is the Data Explorer. It's a web app for prototyping and testing and back office data maintenance. This is the default generation. You can customize it as shown here. Many options, that's just one. If you proceed a little further, you can wind up with an API that looks more like this, or beg your pardon, a user interface that looks more like that. It supports filtering. You can transition from page to page, and there's lookups built in as this. Behind that API and that UI is business logic. That's a very important part of the product. This is an important way of reducing the amount of code you've got to write and increasing the quality. More on that later. Thanks for watching, and good luck with Live API Creator.